what do you feel? You see someone successful, you're like, yeah, like, wow, like I want to be more like that. I respect it. I want to learn from it. I'm not afraid to ask questions to that person. How did they get there? Or maybe even if you're a little bit afraid, you still want to be better. That's in a different level of a growth mindset. I think there are different levels of a growth mindset. Some people are really strong and want to grow as much as they can. And with the fixed mindset, I think there's different levels. Some people have a little bit of a fixed mindset with some growth, or opposite. You know? So think about where might you be? Do you feel threatened by the success of others? I remember I spent 6 months in Sydney, Australia, at Macquarie University. And I remember in orientation, they said in the Australian culture, there's something called the tall poppy, is it P-O-P-P-Y or I-E? The poppy flower? I'm just going to Y. The tall poppy syndrome. The tall poppy is the poppy seed flower. It can grow really tall. Just think of like a tall flower, okay? And I was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? The person that was telling us how to understand the Australian culture, they said a lot of people suffer from tall poppy syndrome. And they said what that means is if someone does really well, they might grow, you know, with recognition, they might grow with success, and you have the attitude of some others going, that person, they got there because they were lucky, or, you know, saying things that aren't very nice about the person's success. So they cut them down. Has anybody ever heard of the crocodile hunter? Did anybody ever hear of it? Steve Irwin is this really, he's unfortunately not alive anymore, but he's this amazing guy on the Discovery Channel who would hunt crocodiles. And he became really successful. And so many people around the world were like, oh, we love Steve Irwin. He goes out and he like tackles crocodiles and talks about it. It was crazy. But he knew so much, he actually really cared a lot. And when I went to Australia, some of my friends were like, oh, that guy's an idiot. That guy's crazy. That guy has a bad accent. That guy this, that. I'm like, how do you hate him? This guy's like the nicest guy in the world, doing really interesting things. And they didn't realize they're just kind of like cutting him down. Not everybody. So, in studying there, when I would ask people that got a good grade on their test, or if they didn't know, I'd say, hey, you know, how did you do on the test? They're like, well, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I didn't study that hard. I don't think I did very well. They're trying to protect themselves from this, where they should be like, yeah, I did really well. I studied hard, I got a good grade. So people have these insecurities. It's not just there, you know? So it's just identifying, where are you? Okay? I talked about this before. Let's say you become salesperson of the month. Are you going to go about it this way? As a result, you may plateau early and achieve less than full potential. Or are you going to go high up and then shoot to go higher? Is it not good enough for you? Which one are you? Right? Sometimes it can be easy to go here. Like, oh, I did well, I can chill out a little bit. I understand that. But where are you? What level are you on? Does this make you want to do a lot more? Does it make you go, yes, I've done well, I'm growing, I'm learning, I can feel like I can do anything? Or it's getting closer to that? Or do you feel like the world around me is the problem, and I don't know, nothing's wrong with me, it's everything else. You know, it's a bad attitude. So, does that make sense when you watch this, the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset? Raise your hand if this makes sense to you. Can I get in? Yes or no? I ask this because I just want to make sure everybody understands. If you don't understand, for somebody that does, maybe they can help explain. Okay? So if there's somebody out there that doesn't understand, later maybe somebody can help them. Does that sound good?
Yes. I would say that sometimes you combine two. Because personally, for me, I'm flexible. I see myself in all of this. It depends on the situation.
Exactly.
Say, example, when you face a challenge, sometimes you need to avoid and so I would say it's probably
Could be a combination, right? Yeah, it's not just one thing or the other. And maybe you have a growth mindset in sales, but maybe with cooking or, I don't know, something else, you have a fixed mindset. It could be well developed in one area, but not so much in another area. Right? That's a good point. Motivation is what gets you started, habits is what keeps you going. I think that's what we've been talking about. Future you. Turn this light on so people don't fall asleep. All right, now there are a lot of new faces in here, so this doesn't apply. But there are a few people that were in the last training almost 2 years ago. It's a while ago. Since last time we met, if we met, look back and ask yourself if you followed through on any of your false beliefs and intentions to turn them around. Do you remember what they were? How many did you actually improve on? What are some new ones? Where do you still struggle? Be honest, okay? So for those who were here last time, what you guys can do is when we uncover more false beliefs as a team, you can think about this, okay? So you can use that kind of as we do this exercise again, okay? All right, so now in groups, I want us to come up with a list of false beliefs that we currently have, that we think we have at least, here at work, okay? So what we can do is, in your groups, discuss what you think some of them are, put them out on the table, and then let's make a list of them. Do you have any more of the A5, or sorry, the A3 paper? No? Okay. We need to get some more of that. We got some over here. Okay.